Welcome back to All Sorts of Sports. This team is laughing.
Yeah, we don't want that intro. That was some sick ass intro. Like sick.
Hey, I see what you did there.
Yeah, half the pod has COVID. Oh shit! Wow.
Welcome to ASOS Hospice Edition.
Yeah.
All right, welcome to All Sick of Sports.
Yeah.
We're here to cover some NBA shit, a little Jimbo, Nick Saban, primetime drama, and that's pretty much it, really.
Yeah. Two of us have the vid.
Yeah. But I mean, we'll cover a lot of basically what's been happening in NBA. We're going to start with game sevens. We gave our predictions last week, what was going to happen and everything. And I would like to start off with, I was wrong. The Dallas Mavericks blew the shit out of the Phoenix Suns. It was quite embarrassing. And I want to kind of put that in context. They were getting beat by 50 at one point of the game. Luka
can we be specific? It's not 15, correct?
Not 15, 50.
50. 50.
50 Cent. Get rich or die trying. Like it was they
died.
They died trying. They died trying.
No, wasn't a lot of trying.
It wasn't.
They just died.
It wasn't. Like Luka was playing, like shout out to Patrick Beverly. Luka was playing defense against Combs. He was playing defense against Combs. He was step back three, doing this. He was laughing. He was playing Luka basketball. Like I enjoy watching Luka basketball. Not a lot of bitching, not a lot of complaining. But I guess if things are going your way, you got no reason to bitch and complain. So there's that.
That is what we like to call asshole Luka. That's his name when he's in that mode. We call him asshole Luka. So it's like, oh shit, asshole Luka in the first quarter. Okay, I see it.
It was very much Luka Legend, like Larry Legend. He was doing his fucking thing, and I enjoyed it. And yeah, I kind of want to put this into context of this is obviously great for his legacy, his ability, obviously, as well as Jason Kidd as a coach. I think he kind of got scapegoat a little bit with the Bucks situation there. But let's put this into context in relation to Chris Paul's legacy. This is, I believe, his fifth blown 2-0 lead in the playoffs. And personally, I think that
he's the doctor of his point guards.
JJ Redick kind of said it best. If he's your best player, it's not really like it's not a path to success in the playoffs.
Yeah,
like he'll do great regular season, all that stuff, but he's not enough in the playoffs. And so far, not even as your second best player, but I guess
that's what I'm saying. He wasn't the best player on that Phoenix team.
You don't think he was the best player this year?
I still put Booker over.
I wouldn't.
When Booker was out, were they still doing as good?
Yeah, they won. They had a good record when Booker went down.
I'm just saying, like, if I had to rank them as players, I would definitely say Booker.
Like, would you?
I think they're so close, but I go with Chris Paul because he's been more impactful.
Well, you remember I was saying, as far as like an MVP candidate, if anybody was going to say it, you had to look at him as a package deal. Like I was, they can get MVP votes if you put them together.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
you need a player that's clearing ahead of Chris Paul.
Yeah,
he's just Spencer Dinwiddie with more clout. Like he's not as good as people hype him up to be. He has that one point guard.
Okay, Ryan Beverly.
No, he has that one good game, right? And everyone was like, "This is your point guard." And then Dinwiddie drops like 35, and everyone's like, "That was a very good game." And then Chris Paul disappears. Yeah, 1 point. 1 point.
Yeah,
that's why he is the point guard, singular point guard. Like. Just it's
one godly point.
They've been calling him CP0 on Twitter.
CP1.
Oh yeah, because then they gave Candace Parker CP3.
Like after you're down by 30, you have to start fighting people, right? You have to take the game to a different level, and they just didn't. There was no heart. Like Booker was out there, like doing that face that he does, trying to get fouls, and Luka's laughing in your face. You have to put Bismack Biyombo out there to slap him in his face. And that Suns team just didn't have it, right? Because you have to start playing a different style. And they were like, we're not going to adjust it all to this 50-point ass whooping. I don't know what to say. That Suns
play like some bitches.
Yeah, they're soft.
Charmin
soft, yes.
Yep.
But the double roll with like the stretch, the one with the commercial with the Bears. That's the whole team did that commercial.
I get the Giant brand. It's a lot cheaper, premium, great on your ass.
You know what? If I'm Charmin, I'm going to Devin Booker to try to get like a endorsement deal with him.
Can't you see him already like cuddling around with Bears?
Yeah. And then just Devin Booker in regular street clothes just showing up like, hey, yeah. And like them figure some shit out with that. Yeah. Hell yeah.
If I'm Devin Booker, well, also the Kardashian broke up with him. Man, he's going through it right now, isn't he?
Yeah, but his cars are cool.
His house is pretty fun.
I haven't seen this house. Look, Luka's Luka. Everybody, we're figuring out where Luka is. I know there's a topic that we're going to talk about earlier, kind of ranking where players are after the postseason. But Luka, even last year, has shown he's a top upper echelon player in the NBA. Fuck you. Shut up. Tupperware. He's Tupperware. Fuck you, COVID.
Exactly. Yeah. Fuck COVID.
I call it you, COVID. You were COVID,
bitch. COVID,
but I do look, and I know James might try to cough on me through the goddamn screen when I say this.
Yep.
But I think it had a lot less. This was the Suns blowing it. This is the Suns absolutely just like, all right, we're gonna save our worst performance of the year for Game 7, which is just you got no heart. Like if CP3 is supposed to be the guy and the leader in the locker room, and this is what comes out with this performance, fuck out of here with that shit. Like it's just, there's no way. Look,
one caveat to your point there, and I'll add this: Chris Paul was also the leader of the team when the Rockets went 0 for 30 in Game 7 against the Warriors. Coming out flat just seems to be a trend with Chris Paul at teams, but he wasn't playing. He was not playing, but.
But that's the thing. If you're supposed to be the guy,
he was playing when they lost in the finals last year, right?
When they were up 2-0. I'm just saying, I'm not shooting them no bail.
They were up 2-0 in that series too, and they lost that too.
You know what they feel like? They feel like the Minnesota Timberwolves with more talent. So it's like they have no art.
Do they have more talent though? No, because here's my thing. I think that the Minnesota Timberwolves were more experienced, not more talent. Because if you looking at that,
team, you said the Suns are more experienced.
Yeah, the Suns are more experienced.
Which is fair, but I'm saying like they made the finals last year, right? And like Ayton got his soul taken from him from Giannis, which we know he's still recovering. It's just these guys
video of him dancing pregame.
Yeah,
that's a long way to go. Jesus Christ.
Was the thing.
He did not look like he belonged there.
It wasn't even dancing. Like they were doing the dog thing. Like
I don't know what it was like. Great value.
Like they had him on a leash, and I'm like, that's DeAndre Ayton.
It was great value. Ray Lewis.
Like that's just center.
That's what it was.
Why is he doing that?
Hold on. First of all, like DeAndre Ayton,
man, why are you doing it?
Like 22 points and 10 rebounds. Like, what are we fucking talking about?
It's like Ray Lewis showed up to the locker room. How many dogs in the house? Everybody got on all fours and started crawling around. Like it's just fucking ridiculous.
But so demeaning. That's why they lost by 30.
They're cornballs. the Phoenix Suns, the cornball brotherhood. Like it's just that's what Parker. It is. Like it's just. But here's the thing. But here's the only thing that I know.
Brother,
it's done. Their window has now closed. Let's count down CP3 to Lakers time talk. Because that's about to happen. Like it's just.
He's got to retire.
No, I think I like him with the Lakers.
I was about to say so that was going to be my point. I think him is the third best player. That's a championship team. But on that Lakers team, they need more youth. They can't be 2 38-year-olds.
Oh no,
Brittle Boy Davis and fucking just whoever else.
Look, send him to LA for a second round ouster.
Well, do you think the Lakers can try to offload Westbrook to Phoenix?
Reports say that they're considering keeping him. I don't know if you guys saw, but the finalists, well, 2 of the finalists so far for the head coaching job are Darvin Ham, who I like, and Terry Stotts. I don't know. Terry's good, but not good enough. I don't think.
Terry won the championship with us.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't matter who the coach is to the Lakers next year.
It does.
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters.
No, do I think they're a championship team? No, but I think it does.
But I think that's kind of my point. Like like what coach are you bringing in to develop any youth? What does it matter as far as longevity? Like any coach that comes in and starts building anything, that roster should be gone by the time you got to turn around and make something happen.
What I think they're doing right now is they're getting like the insight from all these smart people, like the interview. They come in and say like, all right, what are we going to do with Russ? And then they have them explain what they're going to do. So it's just like free consulting right now.
It's more about like being able to optimize that roster, not necessarily develop anybody. You just got to optimize Russ.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, how would you do that? And it's like, all right, well, this is how I would do it. And then it's like, all right, well, what do we think works the best? And if we don't like none of these dudes anyway, let's just get the best coach we think and then tell them, hey, this is how we think we should go.
Lakers just listen to Phil Jackson, trade LeBron, keep Russ. Let's rock and roll.
Trade him to Cleveland. Get some of them fucking stars.
True.
I think it'd be interesting. But
Darius Garland for LeBron.
But bottom line, the window for Phoenix has closed.
Hey,
it's over.
LeBron to Dallas.
The Phoenix Suns being that contender, I think it's done for now. They've got to retool. Ayton's not the guy. He can't be your second guy, I don't think.
Didn't they take Ayton over Luka?
Yeah.
But they need a number one guy.
They got a number 9.
They don't, because I think Devin Booker's a number 2.
I still think Ayton Ayton shaved 3 years off of his career with what Giannis did to him last year. And I think those 3 years are going to come right here, smack dab in the middle of his career. Ayton is not trash, and I think he can get back to a particular point. But I think right now he's trying to figure out who the fuck he is. He needs to go somewhere to figure that shit out. With Phoenix and Denver, they've got to figure out how it is they're going to build around Devin Booker. That's the next thing the Phoenix got to do. How are we going to build this team around Devin Booker at this particular point? Chris Paul's not the guy that we can rely on to be the second banana. It's not going to fucking work. Fucking second banana, 1A or 1B banana to Devin Booker. They got to let Devin Booker kind of figure out what he's going to be in this league kind of going forward.
Bro, Devin Booker is the Western Conference Bradley Beal.
Which is fine. I don't know if I give him.
He's not good enough.
Well, hold on. I'm not going that far. I'm saying that Booker right now, I don't think we know what Booker looks like as the top dog alone. Like I know what Beal now looks like. I know what Beal now looks like being the guy that was supposed to be on the team. And what I know, I want to give him the shot. And what do I know now? What I know for a fact, I can't trust Bradley Beal to be the superstar, right? I can't. I just can't do it.
Wasn't Devin Booker the superstar before Chris Paul got there?
Yep.
And then what happened? They didn't make the playoffs.
Nope.
So
how young was he?
How long has Chris Paul been there? What, 2 years now?
2 years.
2 years.
So
how old is Booker?
I believe
Booker's young, but he came in the league.
I'll look it up.
So what team has a center that's like an all-star that doesn't want to be there anymore? It's the Jazz.
Oh yeah. The Jazz and
25.
25. What came in 2015, 2017 to 2018 are basically nothing because he's hurt. The improves as a sophomore 2016 to 2017, and then
one caveat would be in that the bubble year, the year that the pandemic happened, the year before Chris Paul got there, when they went 8-0 in the bubble.
Yeah,
they went 8-0 in the bubble because Ayton was healthy. Like he was hurt before that. Mm-hmm. So like people think that because Ayton wasn't like healthy, like that hurt them too. So
there's a lot to it. I'm not willing to completely write off Devin Booker completely just yet. I just think the Phoenix. But if you're Phoenix, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I'm not writing him off. I think he's like a slightly taller Donovan Mitchell. I think he's like I just don't think of him as a guy that's your best player on a championship team right now, not right now in his career. Second best player, like, okay, great. You put him with Ja Morant or some shit, like, oh shit, now we cooking with grease. But until you put him with somebody who's worth talking about, he doesn't have top 10 player in the league written on him to me. Like he should be up in that conversation by now. That's why he wasn't in the MVP conversation. He's not that guy. He's not that guy.
He got a vote, didn't he?
You're not that guy.
They said he was Kobe.
No, he's called C. He is not.
and that hurt me because he is not that guy.
Yeah. Hey, you trade DeAndre Ayton and Chris Paul for Jordan Clarkson and Rudy Gobert.
Ayton's a free agent.
And you got Phoenix Jazz.
Yeah.
Sign and trade.
Phoenix Jazz.
Oh, I can't wait for that. It's gonna be fucking Denver, Utah, and Phoenix. Just sitting there.
Just combine them to one team.
Why not? Just find a point somewhere in the desert out there. Just like, hey, y'all play here.
Those places are like 12 hours from each other.
Yeah,
Jamal
guess what?
Murray
12 hours of
Porter
fucking
Jr.
nothing.
Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. for Devin Booker.
Let's say that again.
Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. for Devin Booker.
So
now he's with Jokic. He's not the number one option. He's the number two, and Jokic has a much better number two option. And now we're cooking.
And maybe Michael Porter Jr. actually, if he can play ever.
Could Booker and Dame work?
No. Dame would slap him in the locker room.
No, not good enough. Backcourt defensively is the thing.
Sure.
It's not the offense. Offense would be fine.
Yeah, fuck a Phoenix.
They'd beat the Nets, just like 130 points, but they'd lose 140 to 130.
Let's move on to another ascending superstar in another game 7. We saw Boston get past Milwaukee. That was a good one, good series. Jason Tatum has arrived. I've said it before on this pod. He's here to stay. I think he's like I said, I think I said this before, either on here or I said it on Twitter or something, but he's what Devin Booker fans think he is. Like, that's what Jason Tatum is. Like, he is that guy. But
this last game solidified it for me. I know we're talking about the game 7. But when Marcus Smart I think he had a big boy triple-double. Yeah. And then Tatum just has a quiet 30. Like, everyone's like, Marcus Smart, triple-double, watch. And Tatum's out here with like 27 points in the third. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, that's that guy, because we're just expecting that from him at this point. Yeah, like nobody's talking about the fact that he's draining threes. So
yeah, for sure. And the way he's doing it, I like the shots he's taking. He's being smart. If Boston ends up winning this championship, it'll be one of those runs for me that's up there with 2011, because you got to consider who they've beaten. Beat Brooklyn, swept them, got them the fuck out of here. Beat Milwaukee, even though they're down Chris Middleton. So
would you say they're battle tested?
For sure.
Oh,
this goes with K-Dot's calling back to the East is more battle tested.
I've been saying this shit.
But I mean, so is Golden State. I'm not really worried about that. I think Golden State's going to win it all. I'm just saying that
Golden State has a 50-point loss, kind of like what fucking Phoenix looked like at some point. We gloss over it.
They didn't care to play in that game. I don't care about it.
All right, that's fine.
I don't think it's like, oh man, it's because I saw somebody on Twitter talking about their performance against Memphis. Golden State throws up a stinker. They thought they get kind of like in their head.
No. Don't just say it was a stinker. Like, come on. If that was it
wasn't 50. It was like 30, but it's not. I don't care.
They were down by 50 at a certain point in that game.
No, they weren't.
I think it was like, what was it? It was at least 40 something. They were down at least one point in the game. Whatever. It was a historical until this fucking the other game fucking happened, until Phoenix shot the bed. It looked like the worst loss in the playoffs so far.
It was a drubbing, sure.
Ass whooping.
But what I said, like, Milwaukee was my pick. I was picking Giannis.
Wait,
I was picking
I
Milwaukee.
thought it was the Sixers, and then we switched to Giannis.
No.
Next?
All right, fuck you. Hey, I can explain it, but you can tune out anyway.
Can you pick the Warriors now, please?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm picking the Mavs, asshole.
That backfired.
That fucking Luka, Finals MVP. His ass will be in some Eastern European country eating himself out of league by the end of the fucking month.
And then if he's right, he gonna come in like, oh, I was right, bitches.
I see you feeling real good now, fucking COVID. Fuck you. So
I used all my energy for that.
Yeah, I know. Look, when I was saying that if Giannis had beaten Boston, what I said that meant for Giannis, right? As far as where it solidified it for me. Boston is really fucking good. It's the same way I feel about Miami. Like, these guys, these are really, 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 really good teams. They're just great teams. And like, I look at what Boston can do defensively and yet still have this dude in Tatum who's ascending. Like, we still don't know the complete ceiling for Tatum. We don't. Like, like Tatum's just getting better, which to me is like, I look at this team and I'm like, look, if they don't win it all this year, which I think is a very distinct possibility, they're going to be right back in the conversation next year. Like, they're right there. They're fucking right. Like, they're my favorites going into next year.
Here's the thing. I think the Celtics are who we thought the Heat were, in terms of being able to adjust and play good defensive ball. Because like throughout the year, the Heat were playing very good defense, and the Celtics then midseason made a very good trade. And it turns out that the adjustments that the Celtics can make, which we saw between game 1 and game 2, is huge, right? They are adjusting on the fly. They'll lose by 20. They'll be like, all right, what went wrong? And then they'll switch it, and then they'll win by 30.
Udoka's doing a good job.
So
He is doing a phenomenal job. They held Giannis to like 5 points, right? That team is playing on a different level, and I know that I'm kind of flip-flopping. I would be, if they continue to play this way, the champions will come out of the East. Because the Celtics are on a different level.
I would say, see, to me, this is just my thing. I've always thought of the Heat as the Phoenix Suns of the East. They've never been a threat to me, unless other teams like are hurt.
Is that because Bam grabs 4 boards a game? Is that because Bam can only grab 4 boards a game?
No, really, it's because of Bam. It's because Bam isn't like good enough to elevate that team the way I feel like he should, right? Like when Embiid, as soon as Embiid came back, kind of nullified Bam a little bit, right? And if Embiid was healthy, more healthy, he would have fucking gave it to Bam. Like, I believe in the healthy and like completely healthy, Philly wins that series. Like they missed him for 2 games. They didn't win, but whatever, doesn't matter. My thing is Bam isn't good enough as like the second best player. They have a great team, great coach, probably arguably the best coach in the league, in my end, with Eric Spoelstra. But I just think of them as the more so the Phoenix Suns of the East. They're a really good team, regular season team. They don't have this. They don't have the horses in the playoffs.
Where does Butler rank for you compared to Booker or CP?
Much higher. Well, not much higher, but okay. So I don't think Jimmy's like either top 10 or on the cusp of top 10. And Devin Booker and CP are
together
as a top 20.
So as a tandem or individually?
You can't take them separately.
It's a tandem or individually.
They're like conjoined twins. You have to adopt both of them.
Because I know the rub on Butler this year has been that conversation about whether or not he's a superstar, right? So like when you say superstar in the NBA,
his whole career though, is he
100%? But now you've got what 2 finals or 2 soon to be potentially finals appearances in the X amount of years. If he does do it, I think you have to classify him because he's clearly the best player on the team, right? So like,
they say hero.
No,
that nobody says that.
Nobody says that.
Jack Harlow says it.
Hey, he just dropped an album. Did y'all hear it?
It was garbage.
Me neither. Cool. All right, let's move on.
No, here's the thing. Like, and the Heat are like, I feel like they're like 2 players away. Like they paid Duncan Robinson like $90 million a year to sit on the bench and like come out and shoot 2 threes.
They paid him $90 million to be a podcaster. That's crazy.
That's true. But like they just haven't really figured it out, right? Like it's Tyler Hero when he
haven't figured it out. What is this? What is the Heat haven't figured out?
Bam Adebayo is a joke. He's got to go. Like if you want to build that team, like you have a very good team. Bam Adebayo is a joke. I've watched like 40 Heat games. When he comes down with 7 points and 4 rebounds in 36 minutes, that is not your number 2 guy. It ends up being Tyler Hero, who doesn't play really great defense, doesn't rebound the ball very well because he's like 6'3", but he can shoot 36. I mean, like 7 or 8.
Let me ask you this question, Ryan.
They're in a tied series.
Where are they at? Where are they at right now?
Finals.
Exactly.
They had an easier. They had an easier.
You talking about
road.
them like they the Suns or some shit?
They are the Suns.
I just said that.
When they lose the next 3 games and get gentlemen swept, we will come back here and have the same conversation about how the Celtics are a well put together team and the Heat are still trying to figure it out. They need like 2 more pieces because I think Jimmy Butler is a superstar because sometimes he's just carrying that team and willing that team forward because they just don't have the best 6 man and one of the best point men and then
and they still need Kyle Lowry to come back.
I think
they really do.
So they're not fully healthy. And
they're not.
tied.
But a Bam Adebayo fully healthy is like the 9th best center in the league.
They beat the shit out of Boston when Boston wasn't fully healthy. And then Boston got healthy, and Boston beat the fucking shit out of Miami.
When they're not
I agree with what Ryan's saying to some degree. I would like kind of
tone it down
a little bit differently. So here's what I would say. Bam is missing something from being a certified number 2 option, right? It's okay. He's more of a third option, I feel like. And so then you get into Tyler Hero being the second option, which is Tyler Hero is really a heat check guy. He's like he's white Jordan Clarkson. So it's like he really shouldn't be your second best player either. So they're missing something, and they kind of make up for it with great coaching, with Spo and just fucking hard from
Kyle Lowry be the second option.
Effort and working hard. No.
Okay.
They have 2 third options: Kyle Lowry and Bam Adebayo. And then they have a heat check guy in Tyler Hero who can go crazy. Which, if you look at, which I want to do a podcast on this later on, like the DNA of a champion, you need a heat check guy, you need a first option, a second option, you need a fucking nasty dude who, like, your Marcus Smart type of guy, defensive player, need a good coach, right? They have some of that. Some of their guys are missing a little bit of that.
So I think that changes per era.
Are you describing the Warriors? Is that what you think a champion?
No. I'm describing the Celtics.
Well, when you said that, I was thinking about the Mavs team, and I was like, yeah, that's what we had.
You gotta have that. Like, you gotta have a nasty player.
Like
you gotta have a defensive ace. You need a scorer. You need a great coach. You know what I'm saying?
Stevenson. I remember that.
You're describing a full team.
Yeah, you need a championship.
Kim, I'm there with you.
You need a winning record.
I didn't explain it well. You need a James.
No, you did, because I got it.
Robert Horry. You need a Kobe. Like,
I get what you're saying.
You need a Hall of Famer. You know, you start with that.
You do need a fucking Hall of Famer.
No, that's the whole. But that's the thing with the superstar label, with the Butler thing, right? Is it you can't name a Finals winner that didn't have a Hall of Famer on it.
It's not going to be Bam Adebayo.
It's not. But it would be Butler.
It would be Jimmy Butler.
But it would be Butler, and I think that's my thing. It would be Butler. I wouldn't be look. I still have Boston winning this series, but I wouldn't be blown away. That's all I'm saying.
You have Boston winning this series? God damn it!
What? Oh, did I just? Look, the only thing that I'm holding firm to is the East wins the championship, unless it's Golden State, because you remember I'm
bullshit.
No.
You're not holding firm, bro.
I'm holding very. Hold on. I have not changed what I've said from the beginning. Y'all just are annoyed by it. That's fine.
You did.
No, I didn't. I said from the very
like. Whoever comes out the East is going to win. And then you came back later.
No. It was the same episode because I just listened to it. The caveat was the only team from the West that can slip through, if fully healthy, would be Golden State.
It started with the
I know what I did.
The Sixers.
I ain't going to be wrong. The only thing that can prove me wrong right now is if your goddamn Mavericks pull it together. If the Mavericks win the whole thing, that's the only way that I'm like completely fucking wrong. And that's why I'm rooting against you. Yeah, you and the fucking COVID-riddled goddamn Cuban assholes. Like, that's,
you are 100% getting COVID this week. I hope you know you've done that to yourself.
I locked myself in this basement. I don't see anybody.
So?
COVID is going to come find you.
You catch it from someone. I don't go to Bridgerton brunches, bitch. I'm good.
Hey, James, cough in a
box.
Go
to Bridgerton bunch yet?
Cough in a box and mail it to his house.
No. But if you
that's bullshit. That's biological warfare.
What we can say, K-Dot doesn't have any fun. Like, hey, you in your fucking basement watching.
I don't. I'm depressed as shit. Everyone knows this.
Maybe you should watch Bridgerton, and I hear it'll help. Maybe
I was watching It's Always Sunny for like 6 hours yesterday because it just put a smile on my face.
Anyway,
man, you just need to call us more or something.
No, I don't want to talk to anybody. It's not the thing.
I don't want to talk to anybody. The way your voice cracked, it was very Karl Anthony Towns. That was real Karl. Like I don't like Minnesota. Like that's what I heard. That's exactly what I heard.
Hey,
let's kind of double into,
you can talk to your doctor.
So does everybody have like the Celtics winning this series?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so moving on to the other series, we didn't really talk about Golden State Luka. Golden State just went up 2-0 after Dallas had a 19-point lead like early in the thing. I think people are like kind of making a little bit much into that 19-point lead. It's not like it was 19 with like 2 minutes to go in the third. It was like 19 with like 11 minutes to go in the third. But after it was like 14 at halftime, they just scored 5 quick points and made it 19. But whatever. Had a 19-point lead. Steph and the boys came back. Steph had a great game. Draymond did not. But Jordan Poole had a good game. Clay had a good game. The Warriors played good team defense, I think.
After the first quarter, they did. They had a slow
let
start.
me jump in.
All right. Okay.
So Draymond should have fouled out, or it should have been tossed, because at this point they just don't care. Like, they gave him the first tech, and then it's like, it don't matter what he does, we're not going to throw him out this game, because he was yelling like crazy. Dorian Finney-Smith, who I don't think any of y'all have ever heard him talk, right?
I imagine
Dorian Finney-Smith.
He sounds like Karl Anthony Towns.
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
No, nobody sounds.
I'm sorry.
No, the only person I can think about is I forgot his name, but whatever.
Sterling K. Brown.
Dorian said something to the ref, and then he got teched up in that play where Draymond Green got up in, I forgot who, Reggie Bullock's face, and was about to punch him or some shit. And I'm like, fam, that's a tech. Like, Reggie was looking at the ref. Draymond gets up and gets in his face, and they didn't give him a tech.
It was a very poorly officiated game.
Yeah, it was just terrible.
But that doesn't
Kidd
deflect from
whatever
the fuck
he did. Let me finish. Jason Kidd, whatever the fuck he did in the second half, fucked everything up. He went back to the whole same shit where they were hunting Looney. Why the fuck are you hunting Looney? He's the only one who consistently can stop Luka, and you just keep trying to go to that matchup, which is the worst one on the damn floor for us. Why would you do that?
Dallas Mavericks were 1 for 11 when guarded by Kevin Cologne.
Yeah. And it's like, why are you doing this? And it's like, it's the pick and roll. Like, what are you doing? Don't do this. Stay, like, blow past Klay Thompson. You can do that easily. Why are you picking Looney?
But I think Luka was having a little bit of trouble with Wiggins, like, started second quarter. So I think that's why they tried that. It just didn't work. And then Looney had a double.
It's like, you know what? All right, Wiggins, you can be out here. Cool. Brunson, cook him.
Yeah. I mean, and that kind of started to happen because Luka had a quick 18, and then Luka started giving the ball. Like, he hit like some like 90-foot threes.
Yeah, 18 in the first, and then like nothing in the second quarter.
Well, he sat most of the second. That's why. But I think this was an example of what the Warriors can do when they're just firing on all cylinders, right? If they're shooting the ball well and they're playing good defense, nobody can beat them. Problem with the Warriors for me is if Steph Curry shot 1 for 7 last night, the Warriors lose by 15, right? And he has those days. And then Jordan Poole can cook. I think he is up and coming superstar. But he also does the same thing where he heat checks when he's cold. And then the Warriors end up in a hole. Last night, the Warriors just got hot, right? And they got real hot. And it wasn't like Dallas ended up not scoring. They scored like 13 points in the third or something.
You know why? Because they kept going at Looney.
Right. But that can't happen, right?
Going at Looney, I don't know.
But it wasn't. But the Warriors' offense wasn't like a shooting display. They killed him in the paint. Like Dallas doesn't have a rim protector, and they're just like, all right, bitch, you gonna let us shoot threes? We gonna show you. Luka, come guard us.
Why we want to go bare?
We get past you. Jalen, come guard us. Boom, we going past you. Cleaver, come guard us. Boom, we going past you. It doesn't matter who you put out there. We're going past them because you don't have a fucking rim protector, and they put up 62 points in the paint against Dallas. Dallas had 7 more threes than Golden State. They shot 17 or 20 more threes than Golden State shot. They were going crazy. And that's been Steve Kerr's plan. He said it in the first half interview. He was like, if they shoot like that again in the first half, we'll pat them on the back. Because they're not gonna shoot like that every time. Dallas is, listen, and I said this on Twitter. Look, Dallas need to mix in some a little more twos with those threes. They might have won that game. They need to mix in, like, that's their problem. They living and dying by the three, and they dying by it.
And Kid said that in the interview. Kid said that in an interview.
Luka
said we live and die by the three, and tonight we die by the three.
But Luka
I was like, you did the same shit in game one.
Luka should be able to get to the rim, basically on
right. Luka can get two anytime,
and sometimes three if he gets fouled. Yes, he can. He can body. He is
let me explain than anybody on the Warriors. So I watched the game closely, as I watch all Mavericks game all year. When Luka was driving to the basket, he is getting fouled, but they're not calling these type of fouls in the playoffs.
They called it tech when Bertans got up.
Luka went to the free throw line 14 times.
I know, but on the drives where I feel like he's getting hit and it looks like he's getting hit, they're not calling some of those. So like he shies away from that.
Well, keep going, keep doing it. Like that's what they're going to tell him. That's what they're going to tell him, because eventually they'll.
Luka's kind of brittle to the point where, like, come on.
But if
you can't get hurt.
Good coaching would tell him, all right, we lost this game. Next game, I want you going to the rack 30 fucking times, because they will foul you. You'll make half of them. And then Looney will have 3 fouls in the first, right? Draymond will have 2 or 3. And now we're in business, right? But if you're outside the arc shooting and not trying to go get fouled, they'll have their full squad the entire game. You can get the Warriors in foul trouble. We've seen that, right?
They got to call the fouls.
Well, yeah, and
they have
game to game is going to be different. This game, not as many fouls, I guess.
But look, we'll see what happens in game 3, because we got blown out the first 2 in the Phoenix series too. So we'll see what adjustment Kid makes, and hopefully he sticks to the damn adjustment for a full game.
As I always say, NBA series do not count or do not start until somebody loses at home. So as far as I'm concerned,
I said that.
It hasn't started. That's been what I've been saying for like
fucking times this year to fucking satiate a lifetime.
Oh, Cranky.
Hi, Cranky. Luka had 42 yesterday. And the same thing we said going into this fucking series. Luka, look, Andrew Wiggins to me has been the biggest revelation in this series. As far as just him hitting another echelon. He's been a fucking gnat at a barbecue when it comes to fucking Luka. He's just not letting anything be completely easy for Luka. Luka has to try with everything that he's doing.
And he's going at him on offense,
which I love. Andrew Wiggins has been
game plan.
Andrew Wiggins has been absolutely
the same game plan that Dallas used against Chris Paul. They're doing it against you, Luka. Attack him.
Yeah.
Attack him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you know what? At the end of the day, when we started the Phoenix series, I'm going to say the same shit I said now. Like, it's the first time that this team has been out of the first round, and they got all the way to the Western Conference Finals. At the end of the day, like, this is going to help the team next year, like, going forward. So cool. I'm happy with where we are. I hope that we can still go further, but if not, like, Luka sees all the shit that he needs to do in the offseason to get better, which starts on defense, really, for me.
It starts not at the buffet.
They did try to pick on Steph early in the second half. That didn't work.
Yeah, Steph was feeling himself.
Didn't work.
Look, if they start the game like that, hopefully his legs get tired, but I don't know. That dude's a machine.
I was going to say, I wonder if he doesn't do that. I wonder why he doesn't do what he did with Chris Paul against Steph, because Steph runs so much. I don't know. I guess he's a little bit.
I was like, he's not gonna get tired.
But I would do it personally. I would do it. But
I know, but think about because Reggie Miller did the same shit where he would just run through picks the whole game and get over and just shoot. Well, Steph could do that, really still dribble and all this other, and still get the teammates the ball. Like maybe in 3 years that might work. But now, no.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Paul's got that big, heavy head to carry, and Steph's got like a normal size head. So maybe it's got something to do with it. Maybe it tires him out. I don't know.
Yeah.
All Golden State has to do is keep doing what they're doing. Let Wiggins pester the shit out of Luka all game, and let Luka score his fucking 40 until his heart is content. It ain't gonna be enough. And by the time Game 5 rolls around, Luka ain't gonna be able to score 40.
I think Brunson had 30.
Huh?
Didn't Brunson have 30?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a good game.
I mean,
no, I'm saying, but here's the thing: they got to do it back to back to back to back to back. And that's, I think, if you're Golden State at that point, you're like, You guys have to be hitting on all cylinders throughout this entire fucking game. And you got to do it repeatedly to win this series.
Mm-hmm.
Not that worried about it.
Yeah,
and I think that's what it comes down to.
Game.
Look, we said it before. We said it before the series started. A better matchup would have been, in my opinion, Phoenix against Golden State, as far as the teams and the way they matched up. Yeah. The way that this is working right now for Dallas, I get Dinwiddie, I get Brunson. I understand that they've been ascending, or at least they have done better than most people would have thought they've done over the course of the stretch of the season. I get that. It's exciting. And you have Luka, who's only getting better. And the ceiling for Luka could potentially be best player in the league until Giannis, well, maybe not ever getting past Giannis, but he's right there. 1A, 1B, potentially, as far as from a ceiling standpoint, right? So I get it. All exciting things. But Golden State has a squad. It's a squad. And the thing is, like, you don't have, with Golden State, Steph doesn't have to have his lights out game for them to potentially win.
Damn. All right. You did the same shit when we were down 0-2 the last series. Just wait and see what happens in game 3. Like, we can't talk about like the series is over and like, oh yeah, this is not a good matchup. Like,
I'm not saying the series is over. I still think that with Luka there, what have we said about superstars in this pod time and time again? When you have a superstar, anything's possible, especially in one series, right? Anything could be possible. But like, if they go down 3-0, and then I gotta expect Luka to carry, like,
if they go down 3-0, then no.
Night, right?
If it's 2-2 going back into Golden State, then what?
But that goes back to what it is I was saying about Golden State, is that game against Memphis, where I think they shat the bed. Was that indicative of something that could actually happen to Golden State, or is that just because they didn't care? Do they have one of these games per series where they're like, do they choose this game 3 to say, all right, Mavericks, go off?
Yeah,
like,
but if they
do you think
the problem with doing that is that gives teams momentum. You really, and you can't do that again.
That's why I don't think that in the playoffs you can afford to do that. I don't think the Golden State can afford.
I don't think that's on Golden State. That's my only point. Like, it could happen in game 3, but I don't think that's because of Golden State. It's not like this hasn't happened for the Mavericks this postseason before already.
Twice.
So,
I love Luka, man. Luka's great. Luka's fucking great. He's gonna be great.
I like asshole Luka. I don't like bitching Luka.
I don't like asshole. Like, I don't like
roll that into our next topic, right? Because we're talking about that. I said this to somebody, which is I believe to be true. I think this is the last year Steph and KD are in the top 5 in terms of players in the NBA. And I think that with that, you got to put 2 new people in, right? And so, like, who's that new top 5, or does it even change for some of you guys? Like, for me, it's probably going to, I definitely think it's going to change. Even though I think the Warriors are going to win the championship. I still think it's going to change. We're talking about KD is turning 34 in September. Steph will be 35 in March of next year. It's a new era, right? Like, Luka's 24, 23?
24?
Something like that.
24.
He's young. Ja, same age. Like, they're young. It's a new era. It's time for those guys. Giannis is 28. So it's a new, we're talking about, like, them still entering their true primes. So where do you guys see the NBA going from as far as that top 5 is concerned after this year? You still got Jokic. Jokic is young. Embiid is 28, even though he's injury prone, but he's up there. So yeah, what do you guys see it going? Kate, I want you to go first.
Did I name my top 5 last week?
I don't remember. I think you did.
Where I was like, Giannis is. I did. Like, I said that I thought this season was going to be the last of, like, our era's players winning a championship, like the guys that we grew up watching. And then there was night because of all the young stars that are coming in. I'd probably stick with my same top 5 if I can remember what the fuck I even said. Because it was like,
I think you said
Giannis 1, Embiid 2, 3 is where we got into the discussion as far as Liz. I still love LeBron because I think he turns it on and turns it off, depending on if shit matters. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, the only person I say that as far as in the top 5 list that I'm saying is sneaking in, depending on how the rest of this series is Luka. Potentially. Like, that to me is like, if he can will this team through this, like he's been doing throughout the playoffs, really, If he can will these guys through this fucking Golden State team, because we know if he does, it's on him. Then yeah, he's easily top 5. I just think if that shakes out. But I also think if I'm looking at Boston, depending on how Boston turns up and how Tatum ends up finishing this year, like if Tatum ends up going off and he's got Golden State and it's him dominating in these fucking finals, and like we could say.
Question then to you real quick. So, all right, let's just say season ends. They make you a GM in Washington Wizards. They're doing an all, draft. You get the number 1 pick, or let's say the number 2 pick or whatever. You can only take this person for 1 season, not a game, 1 season. This is the 1 season. The season is next year. You're taking Luka or Embiid.
Embiid.
Interesting. Okay.
1 season?
1 season. Yeah.
Embiid.
Interesting. Okay.
For the 30 games. It was broken.
Embiid, like we're looking at big men across the NBA and how crazy it is when you do have a big man that can actually go do shit. If I need 1 year, I'm gonna hope that he can stay healthy for that 1 year, do everything I possibly can from a GM perspective for load management throughout that goddamn season.
Well, I mean, look at the big men that are left and that are still playing.
None.
Do you need? Well, there are big men that are still playing.
None that are worth my talking about.
Yeah, exactly. So is it that important?
Just Jokic.
Well, that's the thing is like if I look
think
at
that's what K-Dot's saying, like the matchup disadvantage if you got one.
If I have one, like Embiid not
being
healthy.
They did have them. They ain't there.
Embiid not being healthy and then having his second banana being fucking James Harden issue. Like Giannis having Chris
thing until it's not.
I get it. I understand what you're saying. I'm just like, if you said it, I was the GM, we had a fantasy draft, and I get this player for the rest of the career, Luka, without a shadow of a doubt. But if it's only one season, just a season, give me Embiid, and I don't hesitate.
Flaming hot cool ranch. I'm
hey mom.
I honestly think if I had to start a team, and this would be tough for me, I'm either taking Tatum or Luka at this point.
That wasn't hold on. You only said, what names did you say? You only gave me Embiid and great.
Yeah. But I was just asking you just to see.
Yeah.
I personally have Luka over Embiid. That's just me personally in that top 5 conversation.
Yeah. It's Giannis.
Giannis
is definitely up.
Giannis is number 1.
Giannis is number 1. I think that's the easy number 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I still have Steph and KD in my top 5. So
okay. All right. Well, go to Ryan. Give me, or James, since Ryan's thinking about it, give me your top 5, and then Ryan come back. We'll come back to you.
All right. So Giannis, clearly.
And this is again after this season.
Oh, after the season.
Yeah. So who do you think, like going in the next season, who's your top 5 NBA players?
What's your Anthony Davis's number 2 power ranking?
No, you're never living that down, Kato.
I'm saying it was a power ranking, assholes.
I was in there too.
Yeah, so. We were right.
Mid-range is mid-range.
We were right. It just power rankings change.
That's such bullshit, K-Dot.
Fuck you, Ryan.
We were wrong.
No, fuck you. Like wrong. I'm lawyering for both of us here, okay? Shut the fuck up.
Losing argument.
James, you got Giannis number 1?
Yep. Then okay. So right now, I got Luka at 5.
That's probably where I got him too, but go ahead.
Yeah. And then so it's 3 spots left, and I'm choosing between Steph, KD, and then Jokic and Embiid.
Okay.
So I said I already got Steph and KD in my top 5. So I would say KD at 4, Steph at 3, and then so now it's between Embiid and Jokic for who's number 2. Which is a weird way of going about it, right?
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing?
He's making sure Luka gets in at 5.
He's working backwards.
Thinking the other 3 between.
Hey, look, process of elimination.
So you're just saying these are top 5. Are you ranking your 5?
I'm saying Embiid it too.
Okay.
So I'm not off. I'm not crazy.
Ryan?
Yeah. Giannis at 1. I have Tatum at 2.
Tatum at 2. Wow.
I think he's quietly he gets hype, but I don't think he gets as much hype as he deserves for how good he plays on his team.
I think his hype's just right.
Okay. Embiid at 3.
Damn.
I have Jokic at 4.
Like, you got a lawyer to say, you know what? Let's move on.
I got Jokic at 4, and I have LeBron at 5 because I still, until the day he hangs him up, he's always going to be one of the best players in the league. But I got Luka just right there, and then I think a healthy Ja on a decent team. He's right there. Like, he's the most athletic person in the NBA right now, and if he can stay healthy, there's nothing he can't do.
So our lists are kind of similar, Ryan. So I have Giannis 1, Luka 2, Jokic 3, and then I have Tatum at 4, Embiid at 5. And I elevate both Tatum and Luka, particularly because of their skill sets. I think their skill sets are more impactful, as we've seen in the playoffs, right? Like, I think even with that Nuggets team, Luka could do a similar carry job, right? Like, that's not like, obviously Jokic has been without them, but I think he can do a similar carry job if Luka had that team. Though Jokic has been better in the regular season, I think Luka's been the best player in the playoffs, period, bar none. I think it's him and then Tatum. And so that's why Tatum is in my top 5 over Embiid. He's usually relatively healthy, and Tatum has elevated himself defensively to a point where I'm like, he's got to be in that conversation. And then on the precipice of that is, you can maybe put Steph at 5, you can maybe put KD at 5, you can maybe put even Ja at 5. That 5 spot is where it's like it's a turntable for me. But the young guys are there in that top 4 right now for me.
Okay. I like it. What do you have Jaren Jackson Jr.?
He's 37.
Nice. That's about where I have him. 37, 38.
I think you guys are elevating him too high.
Hey, man.
Bradley Beal.
If he 17.
7.
17.
22.
I would expect that Embiid plays more games next season than Bradley Beal does, just based on a historical context.
That's crazy.
That's nuts. That is nuts.
That's
a
crazy.
nuts thing to say.
Embiid's
not going to be playing more games as the years go on, I don't think.
Did you guys watch the Kyrie interview on Iron Athlete?
I did.
What are your thoughts, James?
It was good. Like, it goes to what K-Dot said, the first few times we talked about Kyrie. It's like, you hear all this shit about Kyrie, he doesn't say anything, so you just go with the media narrative a little bit, and then you listen to Kyrie talking, like, oh, I understand him, and then you're like, why didn't you say this shit before?
I didn't go that far.
Okay.
We were kismet, and so like right there at the end.
Run the tape. But it's like, just say something before. Like, don't let us like have to listen to all this other shit, and then you come out later and explain yourself. Like, come on, man.
Okay. Ryan?
Yeah, well, we know this about Kyrie, right? I don't want to besmirch the man, but
yeah, especially because of
you definitely been at a Bridgerton brunch. I don't want to besmirch the man.
I don't want to besmirch him. But yeah, we know kind of who we know what Kyrie's gonna do, right? Out in the public, every time, and it's cool to see him sit down and talk about it, right? But like, do that before, like,
be preemptive, not reactive.
Yeah, right. It's just, I really want to like Kyrie, right? And I think, even though he does some dumb shit, I think he's a really intelligent person. It's just, I still don't think he thinks things all the way through before he does them. But I think the interview, for a lot of people who don't like him, was kind of probably eye-opening. But Kyrie to me is just, he's almost, as far as the NBA goes, he's almost hurting the game because the Nets should have been better this year with him playing the whole time. So I'm gonna keep the majority of my thoughts to myself. But I really think that if he gets out
racism.
if he gets out ahead of stuff, I think he'd be in a much more favorable place publicly.
Yeah,
that's what I will say. If he got out ahead of himself. But he constantly does stuff, and I'm like, why? And then like 8 months later, he's like, here's why, and I'm like, what the fuck? That's how I feel about Kyrie constantly.
I watched it. I thought it was good. I thought he was good. A good interview. I thought a lot of what he said made sense in terms of like when we're like making certain decisions, you know, you're a certain age and you're like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what anybody's going through personally, you know what I'm saying? And like, also I can relate to being too immature at one point to emotionally connect with somebody who's maybe older than me and has more experience, and like, hey, we should just do, instead of just like communicating, basically learning to communicate. And so I appreciate some of the stuff he said. I like Kyrie, to be honest. I do feel like he's misunderstood, maybe not to the level that Brandon Marshall does, but I feel like he's misunderstood to some degree. But I also think like he has to be present and be aware of what his actions as well. Like, you know, I know like he's kind of in that he's woke. Kyrie would be like a bit of a hotel. And so in that, I think he has to realize like some of the stuff that he's doing, you know, not just like playing into the idea of like, hey, we're all just a part of the machine, you know, I don't want to be a part of the machine and all this and everything, and just realizing your place in the world, like, you know, and how you can, you know, affect that, and how, you know, you can go about changing your perception if you care. He doesn't have to care about that. I don't give a shit about that. You don't have to care about that at all. But just be realizing like the effects of it. And
yeah, because he has the power to not control the machine, but to affect a lot of people by what he does and what he says and his actions. I think a lot of the times he doesn't fully understand that. And he's 30.
You said he's misunderstood, right? And that's part of his fault for not saying shit.
Be proactive, not reactive.
Yeah.
Kadeem?
He's 30. I just want to put that out there. I think it's 30.
Kyrie has a great heart. He's thoughtful and also does some dumb shit. So like there's like his heart's always in the right place. He just does not quite always understand how to navigate it. Even in the I Am Athlete thing, they went on like this 5-minute LeBron James dick suck fest about how great of a guy LeBron is and how he's better than anybody else as far as managing everybody, looking up to him and figuring out where his place is and what he has to do. And the thing with LeBron is that, I mean, shit, he's kind of been that way for a minute. Because LeBron kind of same way. LeBron's heart usually in the right place. Just he doesn't necessarily have the know-how, or he doesn't. LeBron tries to do too much without listening to other people on what it is or the way to navigate something, right? Which is why he calls Barack Obama at 3 a.m. in the morning, pisses him off. But Kyrie, he's a good guy. Terrible business partner. Great guy. And that's the thing with Kyrie, is that like, if you could just figure out a way to combine how thoughtful you are with like actually standing for something legit and to be able to articulate your point. I just think Kyrie's really he needs a good PR team. I think if Kyrie had a legit PR team that he listened to, it'd be good. And when I say good PR team, it's not how do we get rid of everything so you can fit inside the box of the machine, right? It's how it is that we can articulate what it is that you care about to get other people to care about it. And I think that if somebody was able to articulate for that he'd be one of the absolute most beloved players in the NBA. And when he does shit like when he's doing his bad businessman thing, they have more people in his fucking corner. And I think that's the frustrating thing with Kyrie. He feels like that. He feels like a younger brother that going through the hotep phase. And when he comes home for Thanksgiving dinner, you're like, all right, you learned something, but can we fill in some of the blanks, man? Can we completely solidify it? And Like I know I love you, man, but hey, every once in a while, shut the fuck up. You don't try to hear that right now. Like he needs Big Brother, and I think that when he admits the fact that like, hey, if I called LeBron and had that conversation, things would have been a lot different. That to me speaks on how thoughtful he is, and hopefully he learns from that and leverages people that have more experience than him in listening and doing things differently. I think Kyrie has the ability to be one of the most inspirational people in the world, honestly. But he's got to figure out that point, or he's got to figure out how to blend his thoughts compared to people that actually know how to take action and package it properly.
But how many times do you have to touch the plate and burn yourself before you realize you shouldn't be touching the plate?
He does it differently, though. So it's like it's
not really, because
it's like, oh, I'm gonna touch it with a fork this time.
Right. He's like he tried. Right.
He hasn't learned.
He doesn't do the same thing though.
That is
like,
accurate as fuck.
It's different variations of the same shit.
I'm gonna touch you with a fork this time. Let me grab a spoon.
Right. It's like
a knife. Did we try a knife?
Like that's what I'm saying. He's thoughtful. It's just Kyrie needs to take a step back and be like, hold on. So I shouldn't touch that plate. No, Kyrie.
Well, how many chances does he get? Right?
He's a human being, unlimited.
It's the same issue, different.
No, he's a human being. Like, motherfucker, you're a lawyer.
He's on his last chance.
Motherfucker, you're a lawyer. How many second chances or third chance you give people? I'm just saying.
I don't.
Kyrie gets unlimited chances. I think the only thing that's going to hurt him, like I said, and I can't take credit for it, I give it to Ryan Russillo. He's a bad business partner. Like, you can't rely on him. And that's the problem. And it's like, dude, if you can't be reliable, no one's gonna fuck with you. You've got to figure out how to blend it. You are, I don't care what you think. Yeah. You are your own company now. You're a business. There's money around you. You're a corporation. All right?
Wait,
regardless of what you think.
You're making him part of the machine. He
is a machine. That's the point. Like, if there's an agent around you.
He is not one of the machines.
Look, if you have your family relying on you financially, if you have agents relying on you financially, if you've got marketing people relying on you financially, you are now your own brand. That's what it is. And it's like, as long as the money's involved, there is a certain degree of that. And like, if you want to continue to do it and you want people to listen to you, you got to know how to properly step in those worlds. You got to properly step in that world. I was talking to somebody the other day. Do you know who's done the best job maybe I've ever seen in the history of basketball as far from a PR standpoint? JJ Redick.
Oh, yeah.
JJ Redick was a piece of shit. Fucking Duke boy asshole motherfucker, this dickhead. And now he's one of the most beloved fucking things. It's like when you ask a kid what do they think about George Foreman. If you talk to your daddy, George Foreman was the scariest human being alive. And now everyone thinks he's the uncle that serves the goddamn things that people that don't know how to cook use in their fucking kitchens. Like, it's just Kyrie needs to figure out how and the thing is, like, he stands for something more positive than anybody, really. Like, to be a thoughtful member of society, to get in touch with what it is that your history, to learn how to be like, what? Who wouldn't want to be a part of that?
If his new campaign was keep our flat earth green and it was a conservation effort, I'd be like, you are almost there. I am very much supportive of that, my friend. Like,
but like that fucking hot plate. What should change? Should we
hell
keep it red, or should the earth be
round? I was gonna say that.
I was like, Akeem or.
No, to me, Childish Gambino had the best rebrand though, because he went from being white to black. And so,
not if you listen to black people talk about this last season in Atlanta.
No, I mean, he's creative. Leave the man alone.
Yeah, he's still creative. But all right, last topic of the day. I'm sure you guys saw it.
I don't understand the text.
We'll explain later.
I'll explain. I'm sure you guys have seen it on Twitter. But Nick Saban had some comments earlier in the week about, teams and recruiting, and like how Texas A&M basically recruited players, you know, with $1 million deals and everything, and the NIL and all this stuff. And he also mentioned Jackson State. He said Jackson State, whose coach makes $300,000 a year, paid a player $1 million to go there.
Yeah,
he called them out by school and everything. And then he tried to reach out to a couple of them privately and offer, you know, his apologies. But Jimbo, not a private person. And so Jimbo came out and he lit that ass on fire. He laid into Nick Saban. He said that you motherfuckers think he's this czar of football. You think he's a god? Well, look into God. Look into God's deal. Talk to his coaches. It's despicable. Jimbo went off.
They put his rant
said
over
a lot of nothing, but took a lot of shots. But he said a lot of nothing, but also saying that don't make me say something
because he was angry
talking about my school. Don't make me say
he called the press conference to literally respond to the comments. He didn't prep. He's just there. Just fucking, I'm pissed. I don't want to go too far because then it can have some blowback on me. So what am I trying to do? Let's keep it in the frame of what it is that we heard him say and respond to that directly. But no, he's been calling me all morning. I ain't answering. We're done. We're done. Look, first off, Deion Sanders has handled this situation better than anybody could ever handle it.
Perfectly.
Was, look, I know what he did say. He dragged me into, he's trying to get his boosters to pay more money. I get it. I don't even fault him for it. Just don't drag me into it. What the fuck wrong with you? Look, you know what Nick Saban sounds like? The I ain't control for fuck it. Nick Saban sounds like the owner of the world's largest Southern American plantation during Reconstruction. I need my slaves back. Where's my slave pipeline? Why are the other plantations actually doing something now? Patty's only good.
You ban the slave?
Candyland has to be the best damn plantation in the South. This is what Nick Saban sounds like. Like, what are you talking about parity? Parity means that you guys have the number 1 recruiting class and win a national championship. If you don't have that, nothing else matters. You fucking dumbass. Like, his white bullshit, he couldn't contain it because it rages him.
And it's like, so I think the way I'm unpacking the whole thing is we were probably paying players, but we weren't having to pay them a ton because nobody else was able to pay them shit. And now you're giving them $1 million, and I could give them $1 million, but that is hiking the price. And now I got to pay these guys $5 million. I got to pay my outside tackle $5 million to come here. And Jackson State's got millions of dollars. I want my money back. And that's what he's doing.
Because he read it in
I want to watch Blue Chips. I'm going to go watch Blue Chips.
Yeah, that'd be a nice Saturday watch.
Yeah, I read it in the paper. So
I think it's on IMDb TV.
I'm never subscribing to that.
No, I don't. You don't have to subscribe to it. It's on Prime. It's free.
Oh, sweet. I'll do that then.
Just say it into your voice remote.
Yeah, literally.
Blue Chips.
Like, it's just that it was a look. My dick was hard when I first saw the story because of how much I hate the NCAA and how much I want to see the entire House of Cards burn the fuck down. It did remind me, though, that I think I mentioned it on the podcast when we first heard about the European Super League soccer-wise, right? Mm-hmm. And I think this, to me, ignites that flame again, where I'm waiting, because it's going to happen, for the Alabama, Texas, USC, fucking LSU, maybe Clemson, Georgia, to just create their own fucking league. And maybe figure out some sort of salary options for the athletes and basically be like, fuck off all you scrub ass schools or anything. We want the top talent. We're going to pay them this. We have this to do it. And I think that's where it's leading to, which to me is a good thing in the sense of the only thing that matters to me is getting these fucking athletes paid. And I get Deion, and Deion says some stuff that I didn't necessarily agree with. He says some stuff that I did agree with in a sense of like giving these athletes this much money at this particular point. They're not prepared for it. They're not ready for it. I get that sort of, but you're a fucking adult and you're asking somebody to do work for you. So you got to pay. Like I don't really give a shit. Like you got to figure that. Like we can figure out what it kind of learning or
maybe like a trust fund or something like that.
Something, but they have to be paid for what, and that's fair. Like if you say, "Hey,"
classes to learn how to deal with money, so that when they do go to the NFL, they're not getting fucked over by these other random predatory adults.
Here's a monthly food stipend, and here you can funnel some cash to your family. Beyond that, you don't get it until you graduate.
Or you write a contract when you sign up. Like, all right, I want my family to get $5,000 a month. I would like $2,000 a month in food. I want my housing paid for, and then whatever's left over goes into a trust, and I get it when I graduate. That seems like what you would do for any other job,
except for fucking sports. And that's the thing is like even the NFL doesn't get away with this shit. That's why the draft is bullshit. The draft is bullshit. The pipeline of athletes from college to the pros is fucking bullshit.
He does this every other episode.
I know, because it keeps coming up.
No.
And I don't know why you get. I don't know why you get.
He throw up the crib and be like, "It's bullshit."
He gets pincers every time.
The draft is bullshit.
It's cool shit. It's cool shit.
That's how we get canceled.
And I get shot.
Yeah, I was like, boy.
Look, I will tell you this: any Crip gang members that have made it this far in the pod, thanks.
Thank you. And if you happen to be a member of the Bloods, thanks.
Hey, thank you too. You know,
thank everyone.
It all works. Red, blue. It all works out. I watched that Killer Mike show. I bought your sodas.
All right. So, it's time for final thoughts. Obviously, I'll kick this off because mine is going to be in relation to gang-related violence. Actually, Freddie Gibbs got tossed by Benny the Butcher's crew allegedly. There's video of it. You can see it. He got beat up from the front of the restaurant to the back of the restaurant, back to the front of the restaurant. Yeah. And he's now 0 for 2 in alleged fightings in most recent spats. Freddie was being ridiculed on Twitter. I just want to, before I finish, I love Freddie Gibbs' music, makes good music. He's been ridiculed on Twitter because he tweeted, I think like almost not even like 2 years ago, that, you know, it's hard, I can't listen to rappers after they get robbed or jumped or anything like that because, you know, they're not gangster or whatever. And like, he said that. And now I'm like,
so you don't listen to your own shit no more, huh?
Are you gonna
never did?
Are you gonna stop rapping? But anyway, I just thought that was an interesting thing. I love Benny the Butcher as well, and I would leave the boys in Buffalo alone. I would also, you know, leave Freddie alone, but at this point, it doesn't seem like that's a thing that you have to do. But that's none of my business. I'm not involved.
Freddie, he records a track. You want to hear that on playback? No. He's from Philly, right?
No. Freddie is from Gary, Indiana, and also like grew up around Chicago. So
Gary, Indiana.
Well, I don't want to say what he is. Never mind.
That's from like a musical.
Good job.
Hey, Freddie's
don't make the same mistake Kate I did.
Hey, you had to save me from Buffalo too. You remember? So like way early in the ASOS. So I was like, I can't. No, I was about to repeat it.
The butcher is coming.
So if the baby's the boss on the video game, Freddie Gibbs is where?
He's a henchman at this point.
Nope.
He's a jobber. Okay, so it's like
no, because what's gonna happen is Freddie Gibbs gonna hear this shit. Kind of like how the last time
Freddie Gibbs is an internet troll, and he's hilarious, and he needs his own TV show.
Gonna be on the internet.
Freddie ain't. He's just not. But like I put Freddie Gibbs in the same category that I put like Biggie. Biggie wasn't about that life. He wasn't. The motherfucker was like, I'm going to write these goddamn songs with this kind of content. And here's my
hold on.
What?
Nah.
What are you saying? Nah.
You off.
With what?
Freddie about it too, fam.
Freddie ain't. All right, here. I'll say this in the camera. Freddie, you ain't about that life. All right. You on Twitter, you do the shit that you do. You're fucking hilarious. I get it. I'm not running up on you because I ain't got no, it ain't my fucking play. I'm not about that. I'm trying to be the funny little nigga on the podcast. That's all I'm trying to do. So like that's where my energy is. Now, Freddie, I will say that you should also know, if you listen to me, if you were in my shoes, you'd be doing the exact same goddamn thing I'm doing right now. So I want you to keep the same fucking energy. Look, I give you props. Showing up with that eye all swollen in that fucking showing up on stage, motherfucker, that took something. I would have had to take the night off. I'm going to admit it completely. 20 motherfuckers jumping your ass in a goddamn in a goddamn Joe's Crab Shack is a motherfucker. But
his girl was there too.
Hey, dude, and when the owners of the restaurant, y'all get the fuck out of here, and they scattered, it was like, okay, all right. Look, Freddie, just stop. Just chill the fuck out. You're funny on Twitter. You and Vince Staples need a TV show together. Like, this is what needs to happen. But it just
no, I would agree with.
He's hilarious.
I don't need anybody with Vince though. Vince can do shit by himself.
Well, he's already got a show coming. Thank God. Finally.
He does?
Yeah, apparently that was like fully announced. It's did you see like he did like an episode of the Vince Staples show like on YouTube? I think you can find. But my actual final thought: We Own the City, HBO. Give John Bernthal the fucking Emmy. Set it down. Lock it out. We Own the City is
episode 3. It's
basically The Wire's little brother, and I actually think Simon, as far as his ability to take this story and make it succinct, he's gotten better. I'm not gonna say this show is better than The Wire. That's fucking stupid. But he's gotten like
wrong. But
I would love to see a new interpretation of like what The Wire could be with David Simon at this stage of his career. I think that The Wire could have been so much better if it, and that's fucking insane to me. But the We Own the City is absolutely incredible. And if you are wondering, yes, that is what fucking Baltimore is like. That is what the police force is. That is what daily life is here in Baltimore. Every time they go back to that goddamn blotter, I'm like, oh shit, that's a block away from my house. It's 2 blocks away from my house. Oh shit, that's 6 blocks away. They on the east side a lot. I'm just saying. We Own the City is the shit. If you haven't watched it, you need to fucking watch it.
Ryan, James.
Well, in a 3-day span, my Caps lost in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and Max Scherzer got hurt because I'm not allowed to have anything nice. It's downhill. But We Own the Night. I'm on episode 3. I don't know if you guys.
We Own the City.
We Own the City, rather.
I was going to say that's
the Ben Affleck movie, isn't it?
Oh, is it? I don't watch those movies. Is one of the best shows I've ever seen. The Wire is my favorite show of all time. This is well documented. And I watch it twice a year because every time I start a new show, I'm like, well, this isn't as good as The Wire. Might as well just watch The Wire. But I was thinking, now that everybody's into these mini series, into writing the series that are mini, I would agree with K-Dot if we can get a revival miniseries of The Wire.
I've wanted it. I have the idea for it, and I've wanted it for so long.
I mean, Baltimore's just so like it's got so much character that you could literally just write about Baltimore all the time.
Mike is Omar now. Naaman is Bunny now. Yeah, like it's like, bro, Randy is Prop Joe. Oh my God, I have.
How long has the show been off the air?
Decade.
Almost 15 years.
15 years. Okay.
She's been off the air for 15 years. Mike is definitely dead. Mike's dead. Mike's dead now. Mike's fucking dead.
No.
I will say that's been another thing.
Guys in the show.
We on the it has been pretty legit seeing all the fourth season characters popping up all over this goddamn show. That's been cool as shit. That has been cool.
I mean, let's
Dookie's a cop now.
If they brought back Paul Walker for the next movie, they can do anything in Hollywood. So I'm just saying.
All right.
I wasn't talking about Michael K. Williams. I'm saying the character Mike would be dead. His character would not have lived this long.
No, I know. No, he would have. I'm telling you, he dies in the show and my script.
You can't know. Nothing happened until now.
If Michael K. Williams' character could live as long as he did, Mike.
It's a different era, bro. Different era. There's no chance.
No.
Mike is still alive.
No. He went away for a while. You don't know the script.
What did they kidnap his adult brother now?
Yes.
I was gone for a minute. Now I'm back.
They do. Yes, they do. How did you know?
Did you read the script?
Did you read it? Go ahead, James.
Sorry, James.
All right. Kylian Mbappe is staying at PSG. We've been reporting. Everybody's been reporting.
You've
that
been
he's
reporting.
going to Madrid for like the past 6 months, and it's like, oh yeah, Mbappe's going, and now he's not. And everybody feel like that he used Real Madrid to get the biggest contract in PSG history.
Good.
And you already know that the government's involved with PSG anyway.
Oh, damn. I was going to say PSG, my team. They not. Liverpool, my team still.
Ryan, how much you think they're going to give him? Do you think it's like 100 million, 300 million a year?
Oh, at least it was probably like 175, 200 million. But
Yeah,
I
to
also
him
think
per year.
I think Real Madrid also was like, you telling me we can get to the UCL finals with Benzema? We don't need to pay $200 million
But
a year.
when you think about it, they don't need Mbappe really, because
They
like,
don't. Why would you? Yeah, it's like,
who is he going to like? Is he going to take? You going to take out Benzema?
It's like, do you want Tom Brady and Peyton Manning on your team? Like, cool, but like, why?
Unless they run like a 2-striker formation, but then still like, I don't know.
Benzema's the best striker. Louis is the best striker in the world, but Benzema's like,
And Barca just made the first official offer to Bayern for Louis, but its response was negative. So we'll see how that goes.
Dude, soccer, international soccer, or the European soccer is going to be wild next year.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
We'll see how it goes.
Arsenal's not going to be in Europe though, so I don't have to worry about it.
But let me tell you what. Shit, I lost it. They said some shit that that they promised Mbappe. One of them. Oh, here we go. They're gonna have Zidane as coach. They're gonna get rid of Neymar, and they're gonna sign Dembele.
So you're reading a foreign menu.
What?
No,
I'm not talking to you.
That's racist. I don't know how that's racist, but that's racist.
Nobody was saying anything.
I wasn't talking to you. I'm talking to Ryan.
I know, I haven't been listening.
You're not talking to me. I like this stuff. I'm not there yet.
Look at you, fucking kicking the asshole.
All right. Yeah, thank you. Also, I'm gonna do we rescheduled the whole Bridgerton ball shit.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get it done.
Wait, can I get you a GoPro?
Huh?
Can I get you a GoPro to wear?
No. Like,
okay,
if you can look it up.
Put
like,
it on your lapel.
No, you can look it up. It's the people that make the show that do the shit. So you can look it up. It's like they have production and all that other shit. So you can look it up.
So I'll be able to watch you on YouTube?
I don't know.
Oh, that's gonna be the greatest thing of my life. Please, if they live stream it, let me know.
But you already saw.
How about you just buy tickets and come with me?
Me? I can't. I got
alabaster skin.
Oh, I was gonna say something to do, but yeah, that makes that work.
I mean, you acting like okay, whatever.
I need to drive my convertible around topless for a while.
Yeah, you can drive it around topless to DC to the old BET studios. And there you go.
I've been there too. I know exactly where it is.
Yep.
All right, y'all. I love you all. Good.
Don't kill the stream. I have a question I gotta ask, but after the cameras go on.
Okay, I gotta take a
all right, but yeah, peace, everybody.
Okay.